Hi, David.
Hi, Andy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hey, nice, nice background. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I'm David from MAAC and we want to welcome here today, stuntman, action choreographer, former JC Stunt Team member, martial arts star, Andy Long Nguyen. Welcome, man.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
It's just so great to finally meet you.
Yeah, finally, right? We've been in a touch on social media for quite a while already.
Right,
Now,
right.
I make it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So to start off, can you tell us briefly about your martial arts background a little bit?
All right, let me think. I mean, I grew up with, all those, probably as with all those Vietnamese dubbed Chinese films that my parents were watching. So martial arts was very present at home from small on. So, but my first encounter with martial arts classes, I think, was when my parents put me in judo class when I was 6 or 7, something like that. And it was nothing like what I saw in the movies, so I didn't really enjoy it. I wanted to do all this kind of action that I knew from the films. And I came up with stupid excuses just to quit the class. And so that I have more time to fool around in the backyard and trying all those stuff outside. And later, much later, when I was 14, 15, something, a friend just got me back to judo. So he said, like, hey, you're doing all this stuff outside. We actually have, I'm in a judo club and we have mats and stuff, and you can feel free to join us, and then you can do all those stuff on padded floor. I was like, great. So I joined back. I went back to judo, but it was more the opportunity for me to use the mats, basically just to fool around, yeah. And then later I got into Taekwondo, hearing that the club had Taekwondo also. I transitioned to Taekwondo, and yeah, it was pretty much always with the intention to practice screen fighting, through those classes. So yeah, I guess that's my martial arts background there.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Because I've been a fan of yours since your YouTube days. I love the Yellow Zone short that you did.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I noticed, like, because growing up watching, Hong Kong movies, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Donnie Yen, and all that. So while watching that Yellow Zone short, I noticed like you had music from the, like, the In Line of Duty 4 and Tiger Cage and all that, and just the way everything filmed is so awesome, man. So to see someone, because I'm Vietnamese, my and so to see someone like you who is also Vietnamese and to move and fight like these legends that I love, it just blew my mind. So thank you for representing, man.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Actually, that short film just happened by, or the look of it just happened by coincidence, because usually I formed that independent film team in my home in Germany. So we had some guys, who were familiar with using the camera already. And when I went to Hong Kong, there was nobody. And I met John Aiden from Real Deal.
Mm-hmm.
We happened to be in Hong Kong at this from our friends that could handle the camera. So we just had those friends that were not, not used to using cameras, and we were just telling, like, we decided to do all those steady shots, to make it easy for the person just to hold the camera like this, frame it like that. I was there putting everything in frame, then I went back, and the person was just there as pretty much as a tripod, you can say. And but thanks to that, somehow, like with all the settings and the location, those shots turn out to look like, and because of our choreography, it turned out to look like those 80s Hong Kong films where they basically always shot on tripods, right? So they were very steady. And yeah, then I thought, come, let's use the old sound effects too, and make it like a vintage film. And then it turned out to be, something that got very viral through that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And since then, I can't do without that vintage vibe anymore.
Yeah, because I think that vibe, I mean, that whole look is so timeless, you know, when you watch those, it's so cool. So I know the answer to this already, but you know, for those who don't, who specifically, you know, inspired you to pursue, you know, your dreams in this martial arts acting cinema world? You know?
Always Jackie Chan. Has always been Jackie Chan from the very start till now. Yeah.
So,
And yeah.
no, go on. That's fine.
No, carry on.
Yeah,
Second.
I was gonna ask you. So was he always been like your top, you know, your favorite growing up?
Yeah, yeah. There was not even a phase where I thought like maybe this person is cooler or something. I literally cut off everything else in my childhood. It was just Jackie Chan, and then I even to a point I refused to watch the other Hong Kong stars. But then later I had to expand somehow in my teens, and I accidentally got, you know, through my mother had I think In the Line of Duty, Vietnamese dubbed, Line of Duty 4, and Righting Wrongs from Yuen Biao. And yeah, let's give it a try. Let's watch a non-Jackie Chan film as well. And then I appreciated those films as well. But it has always been Jackie Chan. Yeah, just as not just on screen, but off screen, you know, as a filmmaker and as everything else.
Yeah, so then, you know, we got to talk about how you became, you know, a member of the JC Stunt Team, you know. So how did that happen? You know, it's probably such a dream come true.
Well, I would say since he was always the inspiration, I always wanted to be, you know, a part of this legacy, you know, meeting him, serving him in his films, and in a way also immortalize myself in his films, you know, contributing myself into his films, because he's pretty much he formed me the way I am today, you know, like I grew up with him, looking up to him. So I wanted to meet this idol figure to me. And my entire life, I would say, I tried to pass on my demo reel to him, which never worked out. Obviously, because I was a very young kid. I was zero experience in stunts and anything. I had no beneficial look or anything to the team. I didn't speak Chinese, you know, which is the main, you can say, requirement. You can say, to be able to communicate with the team. You know, Brad Allen was good at it. He could, you know, he joined the team, but he was able to speak Chinese, right? So it helped him a lot as a non-Chinese person. And it was such a far-off dream, but I was setting myself a deadline to join the team, which was that I wanted to join the team the latest point when Jackie is shooting Armor of God 3, because the Armor of God films were my favorites. And he announced it way back that there was an idea to have Armor of God 3. And in the year where he actually announced to shoot it, there was nothing else in my head than just dropping everything and getting on these films. I don't know how. You know? I had no connections at all. I don't know where they shoot. I tried very hard to get there somehow, and I made it to the set in Paris, where he shot Chinese Zodiac, Armor of God 3, where he started to shoot the opening, and was able to find him there and pass on my demo reel into his hands. And I think what made me actually being able to join the team was that I stood there for a while. You know, I was not just delivering my demo reel and went home. They saw me every day on set. I tried to stay as long as I could in Paris, as long as I could afford it, right? And I showed up every day somehow. They were so surprised to see me again. Huh? You again? You know? And so I left somehow some impression that I really would want to join and want to do that. I helped out on set to yeah, I was actually in the beginning. I was just standing there on the side, just looking, trying to be quiet, enjoying that I have the privilege to see Jackie Chan on set working
Right,
there.
right.
And at some point, I think after 3 days, he was calling me over. Andy, you come here, just help doing this. And it was just simple stuff, right? I offered my stunt team to carry all the stunt bags, and I was shifting shifting the base when they were shifting angles and stuff, and stuff like this till the end of their Paris shoot. And that was for me already such a huge thing, right? So
Right.
whether it works out or not, I did it to the max I could, to show myself, show up there, and tell them that I want to be part of it. And so to that point where I could have actually not found peace, but know that I tried my best.
Right, right.
And to kind of move on if not, or find another way. And a month later, when
Wow,
they started,
a whole month, huh?
when they prepped the started the shoot in China, a month later, Jun, the stunt coordinator, he gave me, he texted me. He sent me an email where he was saying that we would love to give you the chance, to join our team. And Jackie saw your reel, and he really liked to be on it. And I didn't know what to expect, because he was also mentioning, hey, don't, that is not a recruitment for the team, right?
Right,
Just
right.
see what you can do first. So I thought I will go to China, have an audition, be there 2 weeks, and they send me home if I don't happen to be meet their standards. But from day one, they just threw me in the cold water, and I was a full-on 100% stunt team member in the team, doing the same work and duties that all the other guys were doing.
Wow.
And it was really so much for me to handle. Also in the beginning in Paris, we were all speaking English. Everything seemed fine to me. Yeah, cool. Once we were in China, nobody spoke English to me. Everything was going on in Chinese. So I had to pick up the language as quick as I could, just not to stand there as an idiot. And yeah, and there's always, how the new guy always gets the blame for everything. If there's something went wrong, here Andy was it. They all think, and I could not even defend myself.
Right, you
just have to take it. You cannot argue with, anyway, even if I would speak the language, you don't argue with your big brothers. And
right.
Yeah, it was me. I'm stupid. I'm gonna I'm gonna take the blame. But what was important is that Jackie just, it was kind of a test also, right? They put you on the test. Not just because they bully you, they like to bully you, they want to test you. If you can, how to say, take all that pressure, and still enjoy it. And for a lot of people, it's just, oh, Jackie Chan, I want to be there. But once they're there, they cannot stand a day,
right?
Because it's so much. I would describe it. It was like heaven and hell at the same time, right? I was here with my idol. At the same time, you don't enjoy it because they treating you so not bad, but like they're so rough with you and so hard. And and Jackie just wants to see if you still keep your calm, and you can still deliver with all the pressure. And when the moment comes when he says, Andy, good job, it's just the best that can happen to you. That I will never forget that.
That's great,
Yeah.
man. I mean, you're living proof that you just follow your passion and just just keep following your dreams, and you can make it happen.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you worked on a few projects with with Jackie on his stunt team. Which one would you say was your favorite to work on?
Chinese Zodiac. It was the toughest because it was my first, but it was in that way the most enjoyable, or because of Jackie, because it was literally his last Jackie Chan style action film where he worked the way he used to work. Even the my big brothers in the team, the guys that were there for the last 10, 15 years, they said, I have not witnessed this kind of Jackie Chan film. He really, with Chinese Zodiac, he returned to his old days, the way he shot it. How the film turned out is another thing, but I mean, the way he shot it and the way he executed it was pure Jackie Chan Hong Kong style as it was back in the days. And this was so cool to see and to witness and to be part of it. And also the choreography process. Jackie has reached that age now, or let's say where he has, or that's kind of, he's settled, you know, with, he has nothing to prove anymore, or nothing, you know. He kind of gives responsibility to the team and to other people. Previews are made now, which is something which was never done in the Jackie Chan Stunt Team. You know, that came much later, that they do previews. And Chinese Zodiac, we were literally really choreographing on set, Hong Kong style, shot by shot, waiting for Jackie to cook up everything in his head. The set would sometimes we would sit there for hours and just maybe you know, suggesting some ideas. We could do this or do this. Jackie would just be, and then he looks away. Hours. And then he would explode. And after that, he would explode with his ideas, and the whole thing is so clear in his head, which I really enjoy. Like, from all filmmakers, really, he has met like my 100% my expectation of how it's supposed to be, you know, like when you shoot and how clear you have your vision. And for him, it was very clear. There was no additional shot or something that got later wasted in the edit. It was really 100% like, we take this one, we take this one, we take this one, we shoot it from here, and this is how it's going to end up in the film.
Wow. So your first project on the team was his last Hong Kong style Jackie Chan style film.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate that I got to witness this, because I have a lot of friends in the industry that either joined later or joined on American projects. And yeah, to be honest, Jackie is not really so passionate about the American projects, you know, because he cannot live out his filmmaking passion on an American set. Right? Because on the Chinese set, where he's in charge of everything, he can do everything. You know, that brings the movie forward. If it's from, you know, if he's not in front of camera, behind the camera, and until from directing to wiping the floor. You know, you've seen that. That's not fake. That's not staged for image. He really does that, and that doesn't happen on the Hollywood film. You cannot touch the camera, and maybe got a little bit better, but from what I know, he still struggles. You know, foreigner. He still fights. He's Jackie Chan, and he still has to discuss with the cameraman how to shoot an action scene. You know,
that's crazy.
After so many years of action and his status, he still has to discuss these things. So he's not really enjoying these. So from those friends that have worked on these films, they have a totally different picture of Jackie that I have. And then, yeah, it wasn't so, I didn't meet my hero in that way. He was always in the trailer or whatever. Andy Zodiac, he was never in the trailer. You know, he's so passionate on set. He does not sit still, and there's always something to do on set, and he's part of it. And this is great.
Cool, man. I mean, what an experience, man. But so you started in a film called Tuyệt Đỉnh Kung Fu. It's you know, aka Kung Fu Warrior, back in the motherland. So and you brought on board the Lay brothers from Martial Club for that project as well. And so how cool was that for all three of you guys, you know, to go back to our home country and to make a martial arts film and injecting, you know, the Hong Kong flavor into Vietnamese cinema?
Well, I could literally say it was a dream come true. Yeah. And not just these brothers, Andy and Brian. There were a lot of other friends from the independent film community, Lawrence and Felix, the young masters, Akoi, Du Ao, and Marcus. And it just happened so that I have just, when the director approached me for this film, I have been hanging out with the guys in Austria, you know, when they had their job at the opera, and I was visiting them, and we did those short films, the Pokemon Go Crazy and stuff. So it just happened that we were all together talking about this dream of we should do feature films, and at the same time I get this request of returning to Vietnam, and I say, hey, I'm gonna take all of you with me, right? Do you want to join me? I will put you in the film, and I will try my best to give you parts. In the beginning, it was just the Vietnamese guys, right? It was just Andy, Brian, and Du. They were supposed to be with me. Later on, I sold it to the production. Hey, how about, you know, we get it, because the script had no big finale action written. You know, it was just that if you have seen the film, it's just that bodybuilder guy. You know, it was just a giant that would appear at the end. But I wanted like a proper showdown, you know, with somebody I can fight. Right. So I suggested to the director, have this two brothers, and they would be perfect in the film. We could fit them in as the bodyguards of the bad guy. And yeah, it was. We were literally doing what we did all these years in short films on a big movie set, and it was a blessing. It was really a blessing. We had such a great time. It was, as I remember, physically and mentally, this the hardest time. You know, like shooting a film and within a month, with so many action sequences, being in front of camera, then acting in Vietnamese is not. I'm not very fluent in Vietnamese, so I still had to also do that training to deliver my acting in another language, right? Very hard, but most enjoyable time of my life. It was just really, literally living the dream, being there with friends, and shooting every day, living that life on set, and being so passionate about the process every day. We did night and day shifts many times in a row, and everyone with the same spirit and belief that you know, the movie is forever, and we can recover after that. You know, pain is temporary, movie is forever. Right. We do and work as hard as we can, so we will not regret later that we didn't do our best. And even though let's say some fight scenes we just had a day or something, we can be 100% convinced about the fact that we did everything possible in that one day to, you know, to make the best out of it. There's no gap or nothing. Even if the rain has stopped us for 4 hours and took the time away, we did not skip any shot in the previous. We did not take any breaks, but just to really do our best and not regret after that there was because we were lazy or because we were too you know, leaning back or something. So in this film, really, like, this was what came out of it was the best we could do in that given time and circumstances. Yeah.
That's great, man. Was that the birth of your stunt team, the Andy Long Stunt Team?
Yeah. Yeah, you can say so. I never had the guts to call like the collection of people for my jobs Andy Long Stunt Team, but as soon as I received that opportunity to be in front of camera myself, you know, as a leading star, I thought, okay, yeah, it's about time. I would like to, you know, the people that go with me and support me for the projects where I'm in front of camera, I would like to call it the Andy Long Stunt Team. And I'm so grateful, really so grateful for this guy. A lot of people, they don't know those projects are really, like, there was no budget for us at all. It was like investment, you know. And I mean, I could, whatever money was there, maybe I could have taken it and said, okay, then this is it, and I shoot it with what is given. But why not? You know, it was not much money anyway, so why not using that money just to buy all the tickets and get the guys over there, and we just do what we do anyway if we when we shoot short films, right? And do it for that movie. So that was the case, and I would do it anytime again. Yeah, like
Cool,
that.
man. So like before going back to Vietnam for that project, was that how long ago did you like haven't been back to the country?
I think my last time was when I was 11, so
Oh wow.
wow, uh,
So,
16, how old was I during Kung Fu Warrior? It was, 17 years later.
wow,
17
So
years later. First
so
time. No, what am I saying? Sorry. I came back in 2014 after I was 11, 2014, I came back again. So 15 years. 15 years later. And for a movie, I was invited to also to be the lead and action direct. But that movie didn't happen for me. But through that connection I made, or the actors that I have met through that preparation of the film, that Kung Fu Warrior came along. Yeah.
Was it a little bit of a culture shock, a little bit like going like having been back for like 15 years, like you know, just experiencing Vietnam itself?
Somehow it was very nostalgic. It is different. Of course it has changed a lot. Yeah. But I'm not so culture shocked because I mean, I used to travel a lot through the job, and also China I would say was a big culture shock. So after that, I think everything was fine. What was very new or surprising again, or big challenge again, the language, right? My Vietnamese based on what I speak with my parents. Then now going into the professional industries, suddenly speaking about film and all those terms, stunts and stuff that I don't speak with my parents with, you know. And where are the words? Where's the vocabulary? You know, that you have to somehow describe things. And it was kind of funny. The stunt guys, they kept laughing at me that I would have those way of sayings that are common from the 70s, you know, when my parents left Vietnam. I've learned my Vietnamese from my parents, who have, you know, have not been up to date, I guess. So it was always amusing for the other guys to hear like certain things that only old people would, elderly people would say. Yeah.
Cool. Oh well, let's talk about Accident Man, Hitman's Holiday. So this marks your third collaboration with Scott Adkins, I believe, if that's correct.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So and that finale fight is blew my mind, man. It was insane. It's so good.
Thank you very much.
Can you give us your experience with Scott, working with Scott on this film, and your process of coming up with the idea for this fight, with him?
Yeah. First of all, I have to say, Scott really makes me feel appreciated always. You know, he always told me how grateful he is that I would join his film. For me, it's a huge pleasure. No, he asked Scott Adkins asking me to be the villain of his film. For me, it's a privilege, you know. But he kept saying thank you. So it was I felt very good, and it's we have a very good relationship there. But what was challenging for me on this film, also with the fights, is that I was alone, right? I'm used to now the last few years, I'm used to working with the team, you know, having someone behind the camera, having someone to rehearse with me. And then also when I set up the shot, then there's always someone who goes in front of camera and does my part. So I can, if someone else is filming, I can set it up and tell exactly, look, this is the shot. That was not the case on this film, unfortunately. So I could not, you know, swap around and say, hey, can you stand in for me and do that or something? So that was quite challenging. Also during choreography, I did my fight with Scott alone in the hotel conference room, and we would just try to figure out the moves. And the way I usually choreograph is that I have the shots in my mind before I actually have the moves in my head. You know, if you know what I'm saying, kind of the, you know, the feel of it. And then I would set this up and, okay, what looks good in this shot? Or roughly, I have an idea of that as a power move. This is a hand to hand. And but before I actually come up with the actual choreography, in this way, it was the classical way. We came up with the moves first, and then I had to figure out the shots, and I didn't want to waste much time. Yeah. So during the choreography process, I already tried to do a previs with him alone with the tripod. So because I was so clear with the shots in my head, that I would want to present to the Kirby brothers later. So I did basically a previs for the previs, a shotless previs for the action previs, that when the Kirby brothers joined, they can easily see, okay, this is how long the shot goes. We don't have to figure anything out anymore. Now we had a skilled cameraman, George, who could add his magic in the camera movement. And then later on set, it was just applying that. And but also what I was not used to on this set, again, after so many years of China independent films or my own action directing in India or whatever, it was a very Western process. And Western, by that, I don't mean that we went back to shooting masters and stuff, but from the pace of, or the working pace on set. I don't know if you if you know what I mean. It's I got very restricted in what we were trying to do, because we had to follow so many Western rules.
Right.
Which slowed us down a lot. And of course, we have to respect other departments. But sometimes it's just it's not necessary to do checkups after every take, right?
Right.
When you're in the middle of the action, and if you have an action shot where the hair is flying around anyway, once you shoot once you edit it. But we did all those fixes. It cooled us down and everything. And there was unfortunately no way to say anything against that. So that was a little bit frustrating for me. But at the end, I'm glad that people love it, and I'm glad that it turned out well enough. And yeah.
It turned out so good, man. I can't get over that end fight. It's so good. Like even the some of the Sarah Chang's fight, I think you did the action stuff for that too as well. It's
yeah.
So good.
Yeah, again, I was not the official action director of the film, right? The Kirby brothers were action directing the film. In the beginning, Scott, before the Kirby brothers were on board, Scott was actually asking me if I would like to action direct the film. And once the Kirby brothers got on board, it was it was much better for production also to do it with them. They wanted to do it. It was their first film as directors, so they should be in charge of the action as well, since they are able to do that. And it would have been also so much more costly to fly me in for previs to UK with my team and do so they prepared all the action sequences, or most of the action sequences in the UK, and then we shot in Malta. And some of them, like the Sarah Peter fight, that was not done yet, and my fight. And Scott has asked me, okay, like, you're not now action directing the whole film, but would you love to stay longer to help me out and in fight coordinating and choreographing some of the action of the film? So I said, yeah, let's do this. I help you where I can. And we did that. Sarah is very, very talented. And you also have to consider, she just delivered her second baby, which means she was on a 1-year break of no training, and she came directly back on that. And that is literally like the definition of no excuses, right? That she comes back and still is kicking ass, and we still try to show as much as possible, of her skill set. And then we had Peter, who also, he always said he has never done this kind of rhythm and style in fighting, but he did so well. We had those really difficult Hong Kong beats when he's trying to choke her, and she's blocking, choking, blocking, choking, blocking, and I gave that kind of Jackie rhythm vibe in there, and it was challenging for them, but they did so well, and it turned out really good. I like the look also. The DP did an amazing job on making this cave scene. Looks so amazing, and it was just fun with them. You know, like they understood that I was kind of torturing them and being very strict with, we have to do it again. This doesn't look good. We have to do it again. We have to achieve this, and they were understanding it. They were both eager to get the best result in that given time. Yeah. But so that they can say, and Peter had a nice saying, that he wants to be able to die with the shot, right? Like I can die with it. Like we don't move on before he can die with it. Yeah, that's
awesome. I mean, all your hard work, Rick, really paid off, man. Because all the fights in this film, especially of course, again, like that end fight is just mind blowing. So congrats on you know making this project so Hitman Holiday. I mean, Accident Man, Hitman Holiday. It's playing now on on demand and in select theaters. And you know, I just want to thank you so much for you know joining me today. And it's so great to finally meet you and talk to you.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's a huge pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy.